Talking about mindset has kind of become cliche lately, but that's not because it's not important. It's not because it's not something that we need to hear, and it's not something that doesn't have a monumental impact on our business and life in general. It's because most of the time that we talk about it, it's kind of like this nebulous, fluffy concept, and it's difficult to take what I'm hearing and actually go apply it in a meaningful way. So it's just not very actionable. And in my career as a sales executive, I encountered what I think is probably the most practical example of mindset and how it can impact your performance at work and really just, like I said, like your life in general. And I share that with you because it helped make it stick for me, and I'm hoping it does for you too. So you've got two sales reps, Jimmy and Sally. Two sales reps. They walk into a bar. No, I'm kidding. You got two sales reps, Jimmy and Sally. They're selling the same thing, right? Same product and service, same price, from the same office, using the same technology. They're looking at the same CRM. They're getting paid on the same compensation plan. They're managed by the same person at the same company in the same market, right? So virtually every variable outside of skill level and their perception or their mindset has been neutralized. So you can really pinpoint what's going on. So Jimmy and Sally sit down and start making calls. And later in the week, Jimmy comes to me and says, hey, Friday afternoons are really bad. It's a bad time for sales. And, nobody's in the office and people aren't picking up the phone. And the people that do are just kind of wanting to get out of the office and they don't really want to talk to me and all this stuff. So Fridays are just bad for sales. Sally comes to me and says, hey, I love Fridays. Fridays are my favorite because I can talk to the business owner, because most of the employees have left or they're trying not to work. And the one person that's there is usually the decision maker, the person that I've got to actually get in contact with. So I'm able to get through to more people and increase my connection rate on Fridays. Now, who do you think is going to sell more on Friday?
Not Jimmy.
Sally goes in thinking, hey, the placebo pill I took said this is going to be awesome. Jimmy went in and said the placebo pill I took said this is going to suck. Chances are Sally is going to do better. Jimmy comes to me and says, all these leads from marketing, they're not ready to buy. Most of them don't even know who we are. These aren't qualified leads. They're definitely not good opportunities. We really need marketing to do a better job and get people warmer, get them further down the journey so that I have a better opportunity and I have real sales opportunities. Sally says, holy shit. You know what I came from? I came from a place where they just threw a list at you, the modern version of the old yellow pages. They just threw a list at you. It wasn't even clean. It wasn't that good. And I just I had to get sales from that damn thing. It was like cold calling through a phone book. The idea that I'm getting any leads, the idea that I'm getting some things that have been screened and they even have opted into something or they've interacted with an asset or something that we've had, oh my gosh, this is awesome. This is way better than where I came from. Who do you think is going to sell more? Jimmy, the guy that's walking around like Eeyore, hey, I just don't have any opportunities and I really need the ball on the tee and I really need this to be easier and it's not a real sales opportunity. Or Sally, who says, holy shit, I came from grinding out cold calls, hundreds of cold calls a day to a shitty list to, wrong information. And this is awesome. Well, Sally's going to sell more. And here's the thing. It's not just about lead quality. And it's not just about Friday afternoons. It's about everything. Jimmy and Sally think differently. They have a different mindset. The external circumstances are the exact same. They're talking about the same market base. They're talking about the same product and they're talking about the same sales process. They just look at it differently. And the way that they look at it is going to change their behavior and how they approach that problem. And how they approach that problem is going to change the results that they get. So by changing the perception on the front end and the mindset, you change the behavior. By changing the behavior, you change the results. We're all telling ourselves a story, right? About something. Okay, whatever is in front of us. Me recording this video, I could come into this and say, oh my God, this is going to be so hard. I don't know what I'm going to say. I usually have to do 27 takes. This is going to suck. I mean, gosh. And I can sit down and it's probably going to suck. Or I can sit down and say, hey, you know what? This is a topic and a story that I've told a million times. Hey, this is actually going to be fun. Not even can I do it. I'm going to have fun doing this. And I'm pretty pumped to actually go record this thing. The story that I tell myself is going to change how I approach this. And you can take that and apply it to basically anything, right? You'd look at any scenario that you're sitting in front of and say, can I reframe this? Can I change my perception about this thing? And if you have the self-awareness to do that, and you have the self-discipline to start to train your mind to think differently, you will get dramatically different results in business and in life, right? Like this works with relationships. I've got to go to this stupid event later, this dinner, it's a neighborhood deal, and I really don't want to talk to people, and I really don't want to interact. I'd rather just sit at home and watch football. Or you could say, hey, I'm super stoked. I get an opportunity to go meet some people or connect with my friends or do something. That is on me. That's the story that I tell myself. I am the author and the narrator and the reader of the story. I can change it. You can change it. Jimmy can change it. And Sally could change it. Sally could change her perspective about things and start looking at things a little bit more glum, probably influence her results. And even if it didn't influence her results, it would influence her sense of well-being while she was getting those results. Because if you're sitting there the whole time going, just don't really want to do this, I just don't want to do this. Even if you do get the same result, which you don't, it's still not a good experience. So if for no other reason, change your story for that. And it plays out in sales so perfectly because you can literally measure the impact of perception. And you know what? Candidly, this is as much a reminder for me as it is for you. Because no matter how aware we are of this, there are times where we fall into a groove or a track or a way of thinking that is almost just habitual. And every once in a while, it helps to think, can I reframe this? Is this literally just a matter of perception that I could dramatically change my results or dramatically change my experience while I'm getting those results? Chances are, yes. So I hope this has been helpful. And if it has, subscribe to the channel or watch the next video. Adios.